What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Detached Garage. Today, it's kind of an odds and ends sort of day. We are going to work on the upstairs loft area of the garage for the most part, and we're really going to focus on two things. We're going to get some of the walls up with the plywood, and then we're also going to focus on getting some of the insulation put in place over the top of the covered patio area. So we've done you can see on the walls here, this is the R15 comfort bat that basically is filling the other few inches of our flash and bat 2x6 cavity. What we're going to use the R38 for is up above the trusses, which are 2x10s. We're going to put those on the ceiling of the covered patio. So let's take a walk upstairs and I'll kind of show you what's going on and where we're going to put that insulation. And then also we'll talk about what we're going to do for the railings on top of not on top of, but up against the wall area for the garage. So let me flip the camera around here. All right, guys, so odds and ends today. We've got a bunch of R38 that needs to go into these cavities over here. So the R38 is, the one I bought was for 24-inch on center and 2x10 construction. So you can see the 2x10 bottom part of the trusses here. So we're going to put the R38 in these cavities here. We're going to leave the lights open for right now, so we can put enough in, but we don't want to cover where the lights are going to go, just so we can access those. And then we're going to do a little bit of spray foaming around the fan area before we put it in. And it'll be interesting getting it underneath the Advantech that's already nailed down, but I don't think that'll be an issue. We can always access from underneath and slide it into the cavity this way while one person is up top here. So that'll be a little interesting. But then the other thing we're going to do is this half-inch plywood. We're going to start lining that up all the way along here to create walls so nobody falls through the trusses. So how this area is going to be conditioned is I've got the floor has the PEX in it for the heated floor. And so I still need to have some airflow up over the top. So we might eventually do full walls up to the top here and close this area in and condition it separately. But for right now, we are going to leave this area from this cross beam to the roof open. And so this will allow airflow up over the top. We're also going to leave it open up over here. I am going to have a door over here that will allow access into this area so that we can get to the media rack that's going to be right here, and then the ERV, which is going to be over here. That's what that outlet's for. But today it's really all about just getting some of this plywood up and then starting on the insulation over there, so then we can take more of the insulation and more of this R38 and keep bringing it upstairs to clear it out of the way. Because once this is done, once that's done, the garage doors go in on Monday. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put the fireproof paint or fire resistant paint onto any exposed spray foam. Then we're going to paint all the trusses black. So the back side of this here will all get painted black and up against where the plywood is going to sit. So we need to get that done, and then we should really be good to go after that to really start installing everything else. All All right, guys, so it is lunchtime. This is going pretty quick. The biggest challenge is doing the outlets, just cutting those out. So I'm kind of in between one right now over here, where if I put this all the way up against this, this framing here, we are sticking over this one a little bit. So I will probably, what I'll probably do is slide this edge over here and just cut a hole out in the center for this one, or I'll take these down and rip them to shorten it up. But after lunch, I'm probably gonna get started on these, actually get this out of the way so I can start doing this side as well, at least the easy ones of this, but fairly quick, and seems to be going well. So, you know, still should have the airflow up over the top here, and the heat rising, coming up, heating this area. So I like it, a lot safer, have the kids run around up here, and yeah, pretty good. So I'll take a lunch break and then we'll get back to it. All right, guys, so I'm up right above the covered patio here. I've got the headlamp on. I've got my little board here to kind of shuffle in and out. I did nail this, so I could probably stand on it, but I'm gonna try to avoid it if I can. So each of the R38 Rockwool packages has 3 bats in it. So that I'm going to start kind of back here and get it in there and just kind of keep going forward. It's going to be difficult to get, this is probably going to be the most difficult one, especially with the spray foam, adding that friction along the side. But I'm basically going to get as many as I can put in so we can clear the bats off the wall here so we can keep going with the plywood along this other side. All right, guys, so we are about 1/3 of the way done. We've got some areas here, like the light cans that we're still leaving open, and it's hot up here, even though it's 30 degrees out. This insulation is doing the trick. So we've got kind of those can areas. We're going 3 bats deep. So from the far corner, you got 1, 2, and then there's a 3rd one that tucks underneath here. It probably, based on the size of the bat, it probably extends a little bit further. So we'll probably have to go downstairs and cut that out, but I'd rather have it push that way farther and have to cut it from downstairs than like these over here. I didn't put any underneath here yet, and so we're gonna have to try and push from downstairs, push it this way. So we might have to end up taking this bat out. This is gonna be the toughest one because there's so much spray foam up against the wall over there. But for the most part, this goes in really, really easy. And I'm certainly wearing a mask up here since we're in more of an enclosed space. But man, it's going easy. You know, we could have done blown in insulation or something like that. The biggest thing you want to make sure is that if you're doing bats like this, that they touch the bottom, that they touch the actual surface and not leave a gap in between, because you can essentially create your own pocket, like little weather system in there if you do that. So pushing it down, I'd rather have it slightly below the truss, like you can see here, than standing proud, because you want to make sure it makes contact down below there. So this is R38. We've got the zip R3. I need to go down here and tape around this fan area here, put some tape on the bottom side, and then I'll spray foam around this so then we can close this up and put this one in. But I will leave all the can lights like over here. These are going to stay open because we still have to wire the all this blue cable, which is the 0 to 10 volt dimming for all of these. So we're going to keep going here. It's taking a little longer than expected, but we're getting through the pile and we're making progress. So again, about 1/3 of the way done. Let's keep rocking. All right, guys, so the pile is pretty much gone. We are, I would say, I don't know, 75 to 85% done. We've just got the pockets where there's the fans and the lights. And so we're getting to the area over here where there's nothing below my feet anymore. So I think what I'm gonna do, and you can see this one right here, we will trim that one when I bring the scissor lift down here. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drive the scissor lift over here. I'm gonna park it close so I can get to this bay over here. And what I'm gonna do is bring one of the bats out of that bag. I'll bring it over here. I'll place it up top. I'll get down, I'll drive the scissor lift over, and then climb back up the stairs and then lay down, similar to how I've done all these other ones, to get back in the far corner. So then I'll do that, and then I'll drive the scissor lift over here, and we'll figure out what we're gonna do for this one. So my framing is all 24-inch on center. This bay is 30 and a half. So gotta figure out whether I wanna, turn it sideways and do it that way, or what I wanna do for the insulation right there. But yeah, coming along super. It's not the easiest thing in the world because you got to climb all over the place, especially to get everything back and make sure there's no air gap along the soffit back there. But man, this stuff is fairly easy to work with. It's designed really well, and it's self-supporting, which is really fun. So yeah, I'm gonna bring the bat over here. Bring the scissor lift over. I'll set you guys up kind of right here so you can see what's going on, and then we'll keep rolling. All right, guys, so it feels good to get that mostly done. I tried to move the scissor lift and it just ended up not being able to move, so I got to go diagnose and fix that, what's going on with that. But man, it's looking good up here. We've got some safety up here for the kids. We'll keep going on that in another episode. This is kind of a hodgepodge of just, working and getting stuff done today. We should be able to finish this up as soon as we get the lighting in, and also, do some taping on the underside there so we can get some spray foam around the fan panels. So overall, very easy to work with. Huge shout out to our sponsor, Rockwool, for helping make this happen. We'll have a little bit left over on this, but always good to get a little bit more than you need and then go from there. So if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Thank you again for watching Detached Garage, and have a happy Easter.